Like when I lift it up, it'd be like, bang. It'd be like, yeah, we back.
Hi, y'all.
What's happening again? Yeah, we got cut off of the Facebook Live. Our connection was bad, so we gonna just take it on from here. Like we just do what we gotta do. You can get that started whenever you're ready.
So we're continuing with decisions in a relationship. We dropped off talking about financial decisions, and now we're going to talk about decisions about kids. So I don't mean just like disciplining kids. I mean like having kids. And not just about having kids, but when to have kids. Henry and I were together 10 years before we got married. And then I was antsing to have kids after we got married because I'd waited that long. And to me, that was a long time, but it really wasn't that long. But at the time, it felt like a long time. So a year after we got married, that's when I got pregnant with our first kid, King. And then, so he really wasn't excited about me getting pregnant the first time. I mean, he was excited, but it was sooner than he anticipated. Yeah. It's sooner than he wanted.
Okay, so backstory. Okay, so see, when we was first kicking it, I didn't want no kids.
Right.
Like, so that's why because we'll go through that later on, and that come in a different episode. We'll talk about all that. But anyway, we went our separate ways because it was like she wanted to get married, she wanted kids. I didn't want no kids, but I wanted to get married. You know what I mean? But then I was like, okay, so if that's all that's stopping me from marrying her, I mean, you know what I mean? Then I need to get it together, and you know what I mean? But that's a whole nother story because I mean, I love kids, so I don't understand. I think it was my prior dealings with the mother of my children. I'm not gonna disrespect you, but you know what I mean? Like, it was like the prior dealings with her, and I'm like, oh man, if I gotta go through this with a chick again over these kids, I'm not doing it. So that was my whole thing, but it wasn't like that at all.
So when we first were together, from the whole time we were together, I was on birth control. And then prior to us getting married, I had switched birth control, so it made it easier for me to get pregnant. And then I had come off birth control. And he wasn't, so we could have still not had children. But, they have these fabulous apps on your phone that you can, like, track your fertility period.
And there's time. The setup.
Right. So I would just, track when it was the best time for us to do it. And then I'd be like, babe, So, but the thing about that is that he had a good humor about it. He knew we were going to have kids. The problem is that in his mind, because of his prior experience with having children, is that he wanted to have everything perfect. He wanted to be financially ready. He wanted to be done with, go back to school. He just, all of these things he wanted to make sure were done before he had kids. Well, if you wait until you have it all together, you're going to be old and you're not going to be able to have kids. So you just do it. I mean, obviously make sure you can afford them, but just do it. So that was what, that's a big decision that we chose to make. Maybe I made more for us than he did, but he was happy about it. So even though he says that I, tricked him in it, he knew it was going to happen.
There's the setup.
So that's a very important decision that you should talk about with your significant other. Even if you're not married, I'm not saying that you have to be married to have children. That was just something I chose, for my life, because I watched a lot of my girlfriends struggle with being single parents. And that's just, not that you can't be an awesome parent to your kids as a single parent, but it's just so much easier if you have the other person there.
Yes.
Henry is an amazing father. I mean, amazing. And it prides me to see him as a father with our kids. So decision with kids, decision about kids. Now, I'm not going to go into the discipline, because that's another topic we're going to cover on a later episode. So, you got anything else to say about decision with kids?
Nope.
So
here's the setup.
Pets. I'm an animal person. Henry is not.
Okay, you know why? I'm living at 48 North Horton. I got a brand new baby kitten. This kitten somehow, my mom let it out the house, and it got ran over in the street. And I went out there and I held that kitten until it died.
Oh.
I don't want no more animals. I got kids.
Right. So I've always wanted a pug since I was a little girl, because my favorite movie of all times is The Adventures of Milo and Otis.
See, if we had a screen, that'll just pop up the face of it like, ching.
Picture The Adventures of Milo and Otis. It is the cutest movie. It came out in 1985, 84, I think. One of those years. It is the cutest movie, and there's a pug named Otis and an orange cat named Milo. So I wanted to get a pug, name it Milo. Name it Otis, and then get my orange cat and name it Milo.
We named our orange cat Sassy.
Well, Sassy, that was even our cat. That was Angel's name cat. But anyways, so I wanted the dog, and Henry was like, "No, we're not getting a dog, especially not an ankle biting dog." And I'm like, "But they're smart and they're cute and they're fun." He said no. So I said, "Okay." Now, of course, I could have been like, screw what he says. I'm grown up. I can go get my own dog. Now, I'm sure that has happened in relationships, but I respect his decisions. I respect the things that he, says to me. So since that wasn't something that he wanted to happen, and it's not like I can't just be okay with not having a dog, and it's not like he's telling. It's more than just him saying no. It's me respecting that he said no. That's a very important thing there. Now, we have recently looked at other dogs that we potentially might have in the future.
A cavoodle.
Yeah, look up a cavoodle. CAVOO.
DLE.
DLE.
Cavoodle.
They're the cutest darn things in the world.
Oh my God. We gotta have one of them.
So pets, that's also another decision you should discuss with your significant other. And be respectful of what they say. And then if you don't like their answer, then see if you can come up with a compromise. So
okay, so we're gonna talk about chain of command. Like, who has the final decision? Like, when it comes down to it. The way we run it in our household, it's like she makes the financial decisions. Pretty much the decisions are made based on the circumstances. Like, 'cause you know what I mean? Like, if it's something like, okay, should we do this with King? We decide, like, as a unit on that. But then, like, financial decisions, she make those. Like, can we spend this money or can we not spend this money? Because she knows what the numbers are. I don't make those decisions. It's not up to me.
But I do discuss with him the decisions I make. Like, I don't just make the decisions and then say, this is exactly how it's going to go. Because sometimes I might not have thought of something. And then depending on what the decision is that we're making, he might have a different way of looking at it and say, hey, instead of it doing this way, let's try doing it this way. But it's like, basically like how money is spent in our house. Basically, I'm the one that decides it because like he says, I know where, how much we need for our bills. And that way we don't like sink our ship.
Right. Like we go about it this way. We be like, okay, I'll be like, in our house, she make the rules, I enforce them. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's all. That's what our chain of command. She make the rules, I enforce them. Like, if she tell our children don't do something, I'm gonna kick their butt when I catch them doing it. Like, you know what I mean? Because she said don't do it, so that's pretty much the decision we made as a unit. Like, don't do it. And you know what I mean? Because I'm pretty much down with any decision she making. If I'm not, I'll tell her I'm not. Like, I don't like that. Like, we should try something else. But pretty much that's that.
Now, and that's just in our household. You might run your household differently, but each person needs to understand how your house is going to operate, just so that they're comfortable with that. We already kind of talked about helping others.
Don't sink your ship to help another person keep their boat afloat.
Now, not to say that you can't support them. Now, supporting them doesn't mean financially. You could help give them other suggestions, ideas, other resources, depending on what their needs are. There's a bazillion things out there to help you when you're in a bind.
All different kind of binds.
You never know what's out there until you start looking. So, and we have people we know that can help other people that are in need. You know, we have people that have their own businesses. We have people that help us with our financial situation. Shout out to Josh. That's our financial advisor. He's awesome. And so yeah, that's important. And we don't want people to think that we don't care about them. It's just, unfortunately, your problems are not our problems. So we'll pray for you.
Right.
and if we find something or know somebody that can help you, we're definitely going to send them your way or give you that information. But our give account is, you know, very slim these days because, you know, we're going to be a family of 4 very soon, and we're building our empire. We want to have a home, you know, we want to travel, you know, and, you know, we
3
want,
cars.
right, and we
Man, hers, ours.
and we want to, you know, so that's important, is, you know, making sure you understand how much you're going to give. And then our last topic, I guess, is collaborating on decisions.
Yes. So, this is how we run stuff. We talk about, we decide as a unit on everything. Everything.
Yes.
Even if, see, we do it like, if I go kick it, if I be like, I'm about to go kick it with my cousins or something like that, she be like, okay, and we understand, we discuss it and go through all that, and then we go about doing it the way we do it. But everything is a collaborative decision. It has to be, because we're in a collaborative relationship, and I understand that now. Like, before I was like, what I do don't affect them. I mean, and it's pretty much, because I can say this a couple times, it's done saved a couple of people from getting hit in their mouth. Like, because I'm like, okay, I got to think about my family. Like, how's this going to affect my family? Like, the one, what was that? It was okay, so I was working at Cracker Barrel at the one on, never mind, that's not important. And the manager actually told me that you can't get a raise unless you work more hours. So my commitment, my attendance, how long I've been there, my experience, none of that matters. I have to work more hours. And on the left side of my head, it was saying, punch him in the mouth, punch him in the mouth. And then on the right side of my head, it was like, okay, and then you have to explain to your wife why you in jail. You're going to need to get bail money, and you're going to need to go, so, you know what I mean? So now it's like my brain subconsciously thinks about my wife and kids, because, I mean, that's pretty much how I got to do it now. Like, I've reprogrammed myself. We're going to talk about reprogramming on the episode, too, so we'll get to that, so, yeah.
And there's a lot of times that I will tell him decisions that I've made, and I'll go, I know that you don't care, because there's some things he doesn't care about. Or there's some things that we've recently made decisions about King, and you know, he's on board because he trusts me, and that's, you know, that's a very important thing. We trust each other, but I still talk to him about it because I want him to know that I want him to be involved in the decisions we make with our kids, period, no matter how significant or how insignificant the decisions are. From everything that we've done with King, we've always talked about it with each other. And there's sometimes he's like, I don't, you know, it doesn't matter to me. And then there's other decisions that we really had to work towards, you know, and making sure that, you know, we're on the same page. And sometimes, you know, me and might not necessarily agree on everything, but we come to a compromise. Yeah. So we have about a minute and a half left.
Shout outs. Joe Dixon Photography, I guess he got a Gmail. I don't know yet. I'm going to find out from HR Designs 2. I got a Gmail account. You can hit that up. I got a Facebook page. Momentum with Jay. It's like, wait. What's your job? Or what's your career?
More like leadership development, coaching.
Life coach.
Life coach. My vision, and I like I said before, I'm working on a project. Henry and I, we have to get it off the ground first, but if you have anybody that has a small business, owns their own business, doesn't have to be small, owns their own business, it could be an internet business, it can be in a store, hit me up on Facebook, or at momentumwithj@gmail.com. I have a project that I'm really getting ready to work on. It might be a little delayed since I'm getting ready to have a baby in like 3 weeks, but I definitely is something that I really want to work on, so hit us up.
Yeah, do that.
And we're done.
Yeah, we should be done. Salute. Yep, we almost done. Yeah, so y'all, till next week, this Henry Jr.
Jessica.
and we happily married. Ow. I'm just playing. That didn't really hurt. Salute. We off pause. We off pause over here. Armor date. Me and T. Yeah.